I thought of this analogy, Jay, because you were talking about kind of eras and how Jimmy Butler, since he's been on the Heat, you track those 4 years, finals.
Mm-hmm.
Always on an undermanned team, by the way,
okay.
right?
I don't need an NBA champion. I don't think you need an NBA championship to be the best playoff
performer. So since he's
been,
so you say he's. Yes. I agree, but
you don't need a what, Jay?
A championship.
Well, people are saying, well,
you
can't be the number one playoff performer if you don't have an NBA championship, and I very much disagree with that.
Right.
Because I think he's carried teams way further than anybody's expected him to do.
Depends on the strength of your team.
Exactly.
So here's the analogy, okay? When you have, in certain eras, Michael Jordan or LeBron James, they are so much better than the next best guy. Like, through LeBron's prime, there was never like, I wonder if this guy's as good as... No, he was head over... Same thing with Jordan. It was, okay, you get a guy like that, when you give that guy a squad, it's a wrap. You know who's going to win. They got the squad. Now, that's kind of like boxing. Right? You have, when Muhammad Ali's in his prime, Mike Tyson was in his prime, you knew what was going to happen. That's actually less interesting than in other kinds of eras where you know, if Ali gets a little past his prime and now Frazier and Foreman and Norton, these guys are coming up, now you don't know who's going to win. Now it's really interesting. When Mike Tyson's a little past his prime, and also now you have Holyfield and Lennox and all these guys, much more interesting era. Now that LeBron has come back to the pack, he's still an elite player, but he's in that mix with other guys. And you have so many loaded teams with guys like that, right, where it's not clear. Now we have to analyze Jimmy Butler. It's like when Giannis said, just because I don't win the championship, it's not a failure. Let's analyze Butler for a second. He basically got, as a fighter, he got a title shot. Came up short, but he got the title shot, right? He's beaten some top 10 contenders in recent years. The question is going to be, will history ultimately record him as a guy who finally won the championship, as an NBA champion? That question is very much open. He is still performing it at a very high level, and he is showing right now that he has the ability to lead a group that really you look at, you go, they're not as good. Past groups that going in, you think maybe they're not as good, right? Jimmy Butler is live basically every year in that conversation, and given the era and the fact that there is no LeBron James in his prime, he could do it.
Eric Spoelstra said something last night, Key, about Jimmy, where he said, you know, a lot of people in the NBA play basketball, but a lot of people don't always compete to win. And he said words like maniacal, psychotic, right? Really defining who Jimmy Butler is. And if you ever spent any time with Jimmy, Jimmy doesn't care who the hell you are. He doesn't care what accolades you bring to the table. It is, you are in a street fight with him. It's no weapons, just your fist in the back dark alleyway. And 99% of the time, he's going to be that dude that's going to walk out on his own 2 feet. That's who Jimmy Butler is as a day-to-day individual. And we talked about it all last year. His story, like contextually, if you understand this dude, you know, getting a letter of intent while working at, like, what, McDonald's back in the day, right? Like, he's always scraped and clawed.
Came in the league as a defensive stopper who couldn't score. And then it was like, maybe he gets you 20. And now it's like, look at this dude.
I got crow today. You know, respect. That's all I got to say. Respect to Jimmy and the Heat.
Now the moment that Keyshawn Johnson's been waiting for all morning.
Well, I actually left and went up and got some water and came back and, you know.
LeBron James, after last night's game. Is it still tonight? Last night? What day is it? LeBron James had a 28.9% effective field goal percentage on jumpers. It's the worst of any player this postseason. The Lakers still have not figured out minutes without AD in the series. They're plus 38 with AD on the court. Plus 38. They're minus 33 when he's off the court. They're the other team when he's off the court in the first round. In Game 5, plus 6 with AD, minus 23 without him. What does this mean for the series, Key? What does it mean for the series?
It just means that AD has to, number one, when it comes to AD has to stay on the floor and stay healthy. When he fell down and hurt his little tailbone, I obviously my eyes rolled and got a little mad. But if this all goes through AD, when he's on the floor and he's doing his job, whether LeBron is on the floor with him or not, the Lakers have a better chance of winning, which is clear. He played phenomenal last night. AD did play phenomenal last night. I would love to see him continue to play more of a finesse game than try to get down low and bang because he misses shots when he's down there trying to be, a big old 7 foot, 260 pound guy. Be more finesse. Be that guy. And I think he did a good job last night in doing that. Lakers will be fine, I think, back at home. LeBron, on the other hand, he looked 38 last night for whatever weird reason. I don't know if it was because the travel, the minutes he logged 2 nights ago. I don't know what it was. But I think he'll be better at home tomorrow night. At least I think so, Jay.
Okay, I can tell you why he looked 38. I mean, the pace of the game was frenetic. It was the fastest pace that we've seen in this series. There were a couple possessions where it was fast break, fast break, fast break, fast break, fast break, fast break, fast break. I was like, damn. And you saw Taylor Jenkins and the Memphis Grizzlies increase the tempo of the game to wear out the legs. So right now, what's happening, what you're seeing in real time, Key, is we're having a game every other day.
Yeah.
So for older teams with the travel back and forth, you factor in that from L.A. to Memphis. Now we're going back to L.A., off-day game tomorrow.
That's a real trip, too.
Memphis is saying the faster we can make this pace is the more we can wear down the legs of LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
But see, I think being at home, Jay, is going to help them.
Well, agreed. I'm just telling you. Yeah.
The time difference.
The energy level. But the energy level was very different last night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very different last night.
The energy level was all on Memphis. I want to say one thing to you, though, Jay. I found another guy I cannot stand.
Who?
Ja. I can't stand him. I don't like him.
Why? Was it the alley he caught over LeBron now?
I just don't. He's just in our way. He's just bothering me. He's just in the way.
Boy, doing
like, go sit down somewhere, man. Like, dudes like that, he a smaller guy, but he plays big, It's like, man, just go sit down somewhere.
I mean,
he's just like, come on, man.
Here's the question. It's not just Jockey. I mean, Desmond Bane's been the best player on the court the last 2 games.
Desmond Bane has been good for him. But for some reason, it's the hair. It's the hair moving around. It's I'm a dunk on you even though I'm like 12 inches shorter than you, right? I mean, it's just, I don't know.
The athleticism, though, like, real talk, just like, I ain't never seen nothing like it, man. It's D-Rose type ability, but maybe slightly better.
More floaty.
It's better?
Yeah, more floaty than
The one he
D-Rose.
caught the other day, LeBron was backpedaling to try to get it. And I know he had a running start, but he literally caught the ball 2 hands over Bron's 1 hand.
And he shoots it better than D-Rose.
I mean, he's doing all this coming off the hand injury. So I hear your confidence level, Key, even though I still think the margin is slight for the Lakers at home.
Oh, I never said it was a slight margin. Look, man, and I know when teams play at home, there's a certain energy level that comes with it. And when star players like LeBron James say, I'm not having that again, that switch turns on.
But here's the question coming up,
This ain't Dylan Brooks we talking about, Jay, running his mouth.
Wait a minute, we got to do some stuff here. But here's the question. I want you to answer on the other side.
Dylan Brooks shouldn't be saying anything the way he's shooting the rock.
Before we get to the calls. I'm sorry, gentlemen, but you're going to have to stop now. 888-SAY-ESPN, 729-3776. Before we get to the calls, I want to know from Keyshawn Johnson and Jay Will. AD had a big game and the Lakers lost. He seems to have a big game every other day offensively. Did the Lakers just waste the big game from AD? Does this mean we could be looking at a Game 7?
Yes.
Keyshawn J.
No.
Wait until the
we got
was
2 minutes until the break.
No. The break was a minute and a half.
Man, Max need them 2 minutes, man.
888-SAY-ESPN.
Max